Welcome, family, to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to our YouTube channel and share this video podcast with your friends, ladies and gentlemen. We ask that you do this because we want others to know that we're here. Help make this video go viral by posting this on your Facebook page, your Instagram page, and your Twitter page. This video podcast is available in 3 forms: audio, video, and as a written text in order for us to reach our audience. In order to follow along with my presentation, I recommend everyone on my Facebook friends list to please exchange emails with me so that I can email you everything I do online. Also, I would like for my listeners to follow me on my Medium page. This is where I post my actual speech. I also provide my sources under Show and Prove. I recommend that you watch the video clips I provide to fully understand what's happening in America. I use this platform to interact with everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups by giving Black business owners free airtime to promote their products and services. I give people in the faith community an opportunity to share the gospel of Jesus Christ, and ordinary law-abiding citizens an opportunity to share their special talents and skills to my listeners from around the globe. After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast and YouTube channel to help them earn extra revenue during COVID-19. I also assist people on my friends list with creating basic websites, finding college scholarships and grants, housing, and legal services, all for free. I want to produce things that, like films and Black businesses. I don't want to be online begging. For me, I want to exchange something of value. My thing is, if I am going to ask for something, then I'm going to have a product or service behind it. Upcoming events. Please mark your calendar for Thursday, November 10th. We will be celebrating GRCAM 31st anniversary on Facebook Live from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. American Central Time. We would like to personally invite everyone on my Facebook friends list and everyone in my social groups to our next GRCAM virtual conference. The theme, getting GRCAM members on code. Saturday, October 29th at 2 p.m. through 4 p.m. American Central Time, 3 p.m. Canadian Time, 8 p.m. West African Time, 9 p.m. South African Time, 10 p.m. East African Time, and 8 p.m. UK Time. If you would like to be on the panel, just send me a message to my Facebook inbox for additional information. If you are unable to participate, then please share my Facebook Live event with your friends and leave a public comment about the topic on my YouTube page and on my Facebook page. This will help get the ball rolling. The reason why we are hosting these monthly virtual conferences is to encourage our listeners from around the globe to support our film project. The proceeds from the film will put me in a better position financially to hire qualified Black middle-class professionals, buy office equipment, and purchase property for our Christian business, GRCI of Chicago, the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. Eventually, we will launch our African and Caribbean tours so that we can reconnect the diaspora with continental Africans from my African group, GRCI of Africa. We aim to set up chapters in 10 African nations so that we can host international trade among our people. This will be a win-win for our people who are trapped in American ghettos because we can sell our films, artwork, and music to our brothers and sisters on the continent. In contrast, I will bring the best of the diaspora with me during our African trips to meet African entrepreneurs who will sell their products like beauty supplies, artwork, food, etc. This will also help improve the African economy because Black Americans as a collective have a $1 trillion spending power. My film project is my last attempt to try to do something positive for my racial group in America. Instructions on how to participate on the show. First, watch my video podcast. This is called Side A. After I finish my presentation, then I will open up the phone lines through Facebook Messenger. This is called Side B. You can interact with me in real time either by voice call by clicking on the phone icon or by video call by clicking on the camera icon. I encourage my listeners to say not another 30 years. Since March of this year, out of 1,618 people on my Facebook friends list, only 3 people have donated to our film project. On our GoFundMe page, family, we have to do better. This is the main reason why it's taking me so long to get things done. I'm using GoFundMe as a crowdfunding source so that everyone knows exactly where the funds are going. Once we reach 200,000, then we will work on doing the movie trailer and creating a film poster. Our goal is to raise 500,000 in order to make a quality Black empowerment film based on my revised book, quote, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, 2nd edition. The title of the film is Hood Liberator, Made in Chicago, The War Against Willie Lynch Begins. The sequel, African Liberator, Battle Against the Colonized Mindset, will be made in South Africa. Without support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to do my job. All I can do is pray and continue to watch our children die in the streets of America. I want to speak directly to my Christian group members in Light of the World Inspirational Group and Christian Spoken Word Network, my African group members, Grekai of Africa, and people in my secular groups, Grekai of Chicago, New Black Voices of Media, etc., as well as people on my Facebook friends list. We're gonna try to get this film project fully funded and made so that we can move from behind a computer, family. We need the whole global African family to get behind this. The Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago goal is to unite the African American community with the Black immigrant community in America, specifically in Chicago. I am calling on Black immigrants from the following African nations: South African community, Liberia community, Ivory Coast community, Ghana community, Nigeria community, Angola community, Kenya community, Ethiopia community, Tanzania community, and Uganda community. Come forth and work with me directly and turn in my vision and plan into a reality. Once we establish our Christian business in Chicago, then I will expand our Christian business to your country. Black millennials and Generation Z, this Christian business is my gift to you, but only for active group members. I am using this video podcast to get our message out to the public. Those of you who have non-Black friends, please encourage them to patronize our film project. Those who are fully Willie Lynch don't want to see us succeed in building something productive in the Black community. Today's topic of discussion is as follows: from the era of warning to the era of consequences. 2. The reason behind Kanye West's White Lives Matter shirt. And finally, Black voters outreach. Our first topic: from the era of warning to the era of consequences. As I mentioned in my revised book, that social factors, along with this Willie Lynch mentality, will be the downfall of Black America. If like-minded Black people won't work together to fight against the enemy within our culture. I reviewed the 2020 U.S. Census. According to the data, there are 62 million Latinos that are in the United States. Since the Biden administration came into power, 6 million illegal Latino immigrants has flooded American soil because the Democrats has this open border policy. Let's talk about the Asian hate crime bill. Asians have a less population than black Americans, yet they are able to elevate above black people and ended up receiving a federal hate crime bill. The Latino community have been elevated over black people. They have been given sanctuary cities to prioritize these other groups for political gain by the white supremacist financial elites in order to neutralize the black vote. For example, illegal Latino immigrants are putting up in hotels and receiving food and medical aid thanks to American taxpayers, while black people in California are living in the streets. These are people who have broken the law, are being rewarded, but let a black person break the law. This is the double standard we have been talking about. I tried to warn black America back in the 90s when I was doing street ministry, but no one done anything in our community about it. We are in trouble and things are going to get worse. Our black politicians have sold us out because they are bought and paid for by the white supremacist financial elites. The only way out of this mess is to build up our economics and form an alliance with African nations. Please leave a public comment on my Facebook page and on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Our second topic, the reason behind Kanye West's White Lives Matter shirt. Kanye has a point, and I'm going to say why, but I won't be buying his shirt. I found a video clip about Kanye West and Candace Owens wearing a White Lives Matter shirt in Paris. He followed it up with Black Lives Matter is a scam. You can watch the video on my Medium transcript under Show and Prove. How can you be outraged over a shirt, but you have an organization called Black Lives Matter who's supposed to be fighting racism and white supremacy, but they're not doing anything for the black community, yet black people are up in arms about Kanye West's t-shirt. These same people are making excuses why the Black Lives Matter money is being used to acquire real estate in the most whitest neighborhoods. BLM is corrupt and had no genuine loyalty to helping black people. On Instagram, I read a comment by Russell Simmons. He was defending BLM. None of the resources went into the black community. Where's the $6 million Black Lives Matter Community Center? There's no BLM infrastructure in the black community. Instead, they use your BLM money to buy $1 million homes within the white community. Is Kanye West wrong? Yes, but I am looking at the comments. Why you guys don't have the same smoke with BLM organization instead of what Kanye West is wearing? Truth be told, I stopped listening to Kanye West when he said slavery was a choice. I think that was more insulting than his t-shirt. Dr. King said near the end of his life, he believed that he was integrating us into a burning house. The United States of America has not been a great country for the majority of black people. We have to reclaim Africa as our ancestral homeland so that descendants of American slaves can have an option about where they want to raise their children. You can't have 80% of single parent households and think we can build a community. Through Grecario Chicago, we will teach our members and students about the importance of group economics, getting married, and rebuilding the African American community. W.E.B. Du Bois created the Talented Tenth, which were black doctors and lawyers. They were part of the Black Oulé. They separated themselves from the black masses. Today we have all of these black athletes, black entertainers, and black professionals in America. They could help fix the African American community, but truth be told, many black people have become Americanized with the mentality, I got mine, you get yours. Individualism is now the norm. which is a form of narcissism. When I did street ministry, I ran across many black people who told me they were not interested in my vision and plan to improve our community. This is why I created the grassroots community activist movement, to connect with other like-minded black people and African people. This is also why I wrote my story and published my revised book. Black people tore the streets up behind George Floyd, but when the Biden administration gave $100 billion to Ukraine, black people in public office said nothing. Our culture is curated. We are told what to think and what to be outraged about from white liberals through mainstream media. There's a financial incentive for black people who align themselves with white liberals. They make the coons rich. Look at all these black celebrities, black people like Tiffany Cross, Joy Reid, Roland Martin, and Jesse Lee Peterson, just to name a few. They keep telling black people to vote Democrat. These coons are getting paid to mislead black people. Notice their message isn't vote for a candidate that can offer you the best policy. It's about vote down ballot. Democrat, that's why we call them Democratic shields. Chicago will take the lead in educating black Americans about politics. Our vote must be earned along with reparations. Our political component will push a black agenda that addresses the needs of black people. We envision an America where black people are liberated politically, economically, and socially. We will be committed to promoting black economic empowerment, which will improve the quality of life for black people in America. We demand the redistribution of wealth in this country to advance racial and social equality for black people. We will support elected leaders who understand our priorities and will work to advance our goals. I tried to encourage my group members and listeners during the 2020 election to demand tangibles and policies that would benefit us, such as getting an anti-black hate crime bill for black people, reparations, and removing qualified immunity from law enforcement. Black America did not listen to my warning, and now look at the mess we're in today. Our culture has been hijacked by criminals and degenerates. This Willie Lynch mindset keeps us fighting against one another. The average black person does not care about the issues. Please leave a public comment on my Facebook page and on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Our third topic, black voters outreach. Black voters were ghosted by Biden and the Democrats. Now they're worried that black voters will ghost them on election day. The midterm election is on Tuesday, November 8th, 2022. I found an article on CNN Politics entitled, quote, Democrats are lagging among black voters, and that could cost them in November, unquote. Remember when Stacey Abrams went on the 85 South podcast? Chico Bean asked her about doing something specifically for black people. She said black people are only 13% of the population. The Democrats can't just focus on black people. There's not enough votes. They have to focus on everybody. The same response Kamala Harris said. Notice every election season, the mainstream media always focus on black voters. There are Asian voters, East Indian voters, and Latino voters. Yet, they constantly focus on the black vote. Why? Since the 1970s, black people have been 12% of the population. There's a lot of black people who are not counted in the U.S. Census. The city of Detroit has filed a lawsuit against the Census Bureau for undercounting black citizens. Why is this important? because the census is a way to finance money. For them, how many people there is, you have to allocate resources. A biased person could undercount black people in order to justify not giving a community certain resources. There's no category for East Indian people. Labeling other groups as white is all about finance, money, back to the white community. It also gives them more representation in the Senate. My question to black voters: what have the Biden administration done for black people? The Biden administration gave the Asian community a hate crime bill. They didn't go through slavery, Jim Crow redlining, and racial covenants. The Biden administration gave the LGBT community protection and an executive order. The Biden administration gave Afghan refugees and Ukrainian refugees resources. The Biden administration gave illegal Latino immigrants resources. The Biden administration only gave black people symbolism, Juneteenth, and Ketanji Brown Jackson. No resources. I explained to my group members and my listeners that the U.S. government is protecting a policy called benign and neglect on black people. Black men don't like the Democrats' agenda because it does not address our issues. I believe in reparations, but again, black people in America have been marching for 60 years. I try to encourage black people to give my vision and plan a chance, but for the past 30 years, they reject my vision and plan. I believe in reparation, but black economic empowerment is going to help put food on the table. I support policies that's going to benefit the black community. We can never forgive the Democratic Party for giving the Asian community a hate crime bill, because that same year the FBI revealed the actual data that black people had more hate crimes than Asians. All of the Congressional Black Caucus members were on board to pass the Asian hate crime bill, but won't say a word about reparations and a hate crime bill for black people. They all voted for billions of dollars for Ukraine. Why should we vote for them too? Black people should be single issue voters because about reparations. The Biden administration did not say nothing about a study when it came to the Asian hate crime bill. The Biden administration did not say nothing about a study when it came to giving billions of dollars to Ukraine. Tell the Democrats to ask all the people they gave resources to come out and vote for them. I predict that the Democrats would most likely make another "Get Your Booty to the Polls" video, but they took degeneracy to another level, aimed at black voters. There's a song called, quote, "No Voting, No Voting," unquote, by Sausage, Santana, and Trina. Here we go with the LGBT agenda. In the video, he said, quote, "If you want to hit this booty, you got to do your civic duty," unquote. I have posted the entire video on my Medium transcript. Just scroll down to Show and Prove for more information. 2 years ago, the mainstream media promoted scripters urging black men to vote. If you don't reject these images, then the media will continue making these type of images. Notice, we're always presented with degeneracy. They don't do this to any other community in America. They're trying to get young black people to vote through music. Out of all the issues they can sing about, what about singing about reparations? Y'all got the gift of doing music, and this is the best you can do. If you want to show these Democrats that you mean business, then there needs to be a major backlash against this video, and we need to teach the Democrats a lesson not to take our vote for granted. We have have a subgroup in our community who likes this kind of behavior. I always say we need to separate ourselves from these low-hanging fruit within our society. People from around the globe see this video and assume we support it. We need to apply collective pressure to any black person that is doing raccoon behavior. I feel disrespected as a black American voter. It should be all of us from the black grassroots speaking out against this mess. Please leave a public comment on my Facebook page and on my YouTube page about the topic. Most of all, share this podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Again, I'm doing the best that I can, with my videos and all that stuff, and also holding our virtual conferences. But my listeners and people that's in my groups and people that's on my Facebook friends list, I need you all to do your part. I need you all to do your part. I'm not playing games here. That's how come I want to turn my story into a film. Unfortunately, a lot of our people don't like to read, but that hasn't stopped me, from trying to get my message out. And again, once I start making money from this business, then everybody's going to want to come out the woodwork. That's not how this is going to go. We're going to screen people, and those people that rejected me for the past 30 years, you would not be part of my business. It's just that simple. And again, I don't operate like the next black man. I have my own style, and I stand on what I mean. My voice might sound soft, but it is what it is. No, I'm not soft. I'm focused. The main two things that I lack is the manpower and the capital. And that's basically what this is all about. But I want to be that example for my group members, especially the black youth. I would say black millennials and Generation Z. I promise you that you will never have to endure this foolishness in my Christian business. Because through this Christian business, I want to make sure we have our support systems intact. And we want to work with black people that want more out of life, point blank. Now, I know a lot of black immigrants that comes, from Africa, they come to this country to work hard. They want to, do better for themselves. They don't want to get mixed up with, black Americans, politics and all that stuff and all those issues. And they see all that negativity, I would say in the media. They hear it on these videos and all that kind of stuff. So yes, I understand they don't want to fool with the African American community. They want to stay in their own communities. But I want to reach out to our black immigrant community, especially from those from Africa. There's no middleman. You can speak to me directly. I'm representing the African American community. We need help. And before I can expand our Christian business to the African continent, we got to get it started here first, and that's for credibility. Like I say, it's a shame. It doesn't have to take no 30 years to start a business, people. But again, this is spiritual warfare at its best. That's all this is. So, like I say, this film project, this is my last attempt. This is the best that I can do. Again, I'm not interested in writing more books. I'm interested in creating black businesses, creating black empowerment films, and being able to expand to the African continent and do international trade with our brothers and sisters on the continent. That's all I'm trying to do. And we have the spiritual component where people can learn more about the Lord and everything. This is a Christian business too. But again, we also want to have balance. We want to focus on meeting the need of the black community. But again, I'm not trying to do all this stuff to be popular. Yes, we do need the support, from the black community big time. But and the reason why I'm doing these videos, I'm trying to get my name out there. I have the virtual store, trying to generate capital. But again, it takes a team to make a dream work. I can't do everything. But I know one thing for sure. Those that work with me and Sister Renee will go down in history because, I will acknowledge you. But if you want to stay anonymous, I will respect that too, but you have to let me know. So with that being said, we'll open up the phone lines. And I'll wait around for about 15 minutes. If I don't hear from anyone, then we're going to conclude our show for today. And, like I say, next month will be 31 years the cam has been, online. I've been pushing this thing for 31 years. But again, I don't want to be doing this another 31 years. That's how come I want to definitely put it out there in terms of trying to get this film project fully funded in May. So the proceeds from that, I can be able to do all the things that I've been talking about. And again, this is going to be membership based. I only want to work with people that want more out of life and that want to utilize our programs and services. Again, Black America has two choices. Either embrace annihilation or embrace survival. I only want to connect with those that want to survive. I only want to connect with those that's like-minded. And again, I just hope and pray that I can, the Lord will allow me to, live to see this come to pass in my lifetime. Again, I don't want to be doing this another 30 years. That's real. And so with that being said, phone lines are now open.